Hey all, and welcome back to the second HFC Sonic-a-thon. It's day 4 today, and we are going to be covering the storybook games, Sonic and the Secret Rings, and Sonic and the Black Knight. I'm going to be running the former, and my co-com today, Flame, is going to be running the latter. So why don't we get right on into it?
And while you set up, I will let everyone know what is happening this marathon. Over the course of the second HFC Sonic-a-thon, we are raising money for the charity Child's Play. And what Child's Play do is they provide toys and games to children who are in the hospital long term. Basically just to help ease their stay a little bit, make it a little bit less unpleasant for them. And currently we are edging closer and closer towards that $2,000 threshold.
What time is it?
Each time we hit a $1,000 threshold, we're adding an extra handful of games onto the schedule. So we've already unlocked the first incentive day, which will consist of Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, Sonic the Hedgehog mobile game showcase, that will be Tanner running that, Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, the arcade game, which Snake will be playing, and a showcase of the Minecraft Sonic DLC pack, which again, that's all Tanner.
Yeah.
But if we manage to get to the $2,000, then we'll be adding a fan game block. So that will include things like Sonic Mega Mix, a Sonic Creepypasta showcase, and also the wonderful Before the Sequel and After the Sequel games, which were made by Lakeford Pod, who you may know from Spark the Electric Jester fame. If we manage to hit $3,000, we'll be adding some handheld games to the mix. So we'll be playing the 3DS version of All Stars Racing Transformed, Sonic Colors for DS, and Sonic Generations for 3DS. If we hit $4,000, we'll be covering the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed. And if we manage to hit our highest goal, which is $5,000, that will add on another big game to the end of the marathon. That will be a run of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. So we've got a lot to look forward to if we're able to hit those incentives.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to stop him.
So, Secret Rings, mate, what's your thoughts?
Only you.
Yeah, it's kind of shit.
Yeah, that pause, I think, says it all. It's a very flawed game, but I just liked the mythology of the Arabian Nights, so that combined with Sonic, and a really good performance from Jason just makes it really charming to me.
Yeah, I want to make it clear that there is a lot of stuff about this game that I think is very well done. Mostly the presentation, it looks nice. When you get into the levels, they all look really nice. It's got an interesting setting. The music's great throughout. These cutscenes may be a little bit on the dull side, but you know, for the most part, it holds up. It's just the thing that is my point of contention is the control.
Like this?
It's just, I can't get past that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to give it above a 7 just for those control issues, because Sonic automatically moves forward, and you tilt left and right to move left and right. It's basically like driving a racing car, and you have like a brake button to slow down and jump and whatnot. You flick the Wii remote forward to do the homing attack. It's just a bit cumbersome and clunky, but everything else I really enjoy, so.
Master of the ring. What
I see people in chat asking if anyone's made any mods for the game to use regular controls or anything, and you can rebind the controls in Dolphin if you want to. But the problem there is that it just feels a little bit empty. The game clearly wasn't designed for that.
Yeah.
So you're basically just running forward with nothing else happening.
Okay. Thanks for the hankies, though.
This is why you keep your Wii U to specifically play Sonic and the Secret Rings in 720p.
Yeah, I was getting set up last night for Black Knight, and I took the disc out, and it was Excite Truck in there from 2 years ago when I streamed it during the Super Nintendo-thon.
Jesus Christ.
the legendary hedgehog. Here we go into the world of the Arabian Nights.
Okay. Now this is first class.
Let's go to Tutorial Zone, Acts 1 through 10. Yes, you heard me right.
It's 1 through 8 that are mandatory before we move on.
Okay then. Scooby did have an Arabian Night. It was a Hanna-Barbera special, I believe.
Oh, okay.
2, 1.
I can't promise my headset won't knock during this, but that's what happens when you're using tilt controls.
Yeah, and that's gonna most likely be a problem during Black Knight, because I'm gonna be swinging it around like a sword and trying and most likely failing to keep my microphone steady while I'm doing it.
Well, you know what we're like, mate. I'm not gonna blame you for that. Get used to hearing this sting, by the way. It's gonna be a long 3 hours.
Oh, yes.
Just made it.
Why won't you play Sonic and the Famu? I don't know, Beat Knight. Is that like a hidden game? Does Sonic Retro have that in their database? Alright, use the charge jump move to reach the goal.
You're gonna have to get used to Make Believe's Reborn as well.
Oh boy.
3, 2, 1. Go.
I really should put the Wii Remote strap around my wrist, but fuck the police.
I mean, you only just replaced your PC. You don't want to have to replace your monitor as well.
True. Tried to beat the final boss as Darkspine, and I just throw the thing through the fucking monitor.
You joke now.
Just made it.
Oh, that tutorial nearly killed me, Char. Sweet baby Jesus, and all the associated orphans.
Are you guys really gonna keep a tally of how many times we hear Make Believe's Reborn?
Don't do that. Also, yeah, I'm just going to put the wrist strap on, which I very rarely do, actually.
I tend to keep it on mostly because it's attached to the thing, and if I don't, it will swing around and annoy me.
Yeah, true. I mean, like, it's running across the bottom of my hand next to my little finger, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. This game does not require much dexterity. You go left and right, and that's about it.
Yeah, and it's just using the Wiimote for this game, so you don't have to worry about having the nunchuck or the classic controller plugged in. Although it might be better off if it did. You enjoying this riveting gameplay right now, Tom?
It is so engaging.
Could they not have just put these in one level and then let you go into Sand Oasis and do something interesting?
I think they're trying to get you used to, like, the chapter format.
Yeah, but that's like the part that's self-explanatory.
Well... Alright, the homing attack. Don't throw your Wii Remote doing this, it will not help you. I don't think they were thinking about people playing Secret Rings more than once, that's the thing.
That's more damning than anything I could say about the
while
game.
Jumping, when the lock-on mark appears, there's the symbol.
I don't even need to flick the Wii Remote with both hands here. Just like that, nice and simple. Amazing. King of video games.
You've mastered it.
Just made it.
Just in case it isn't obvious, you can go above bronze, but you will need to upgrade Sonic in order to do that. Yes, much like the upcoming Sonic Frontiers, you can upgrade his speed and other such features.
Yep, it goes up to level 99 for some reason, and when you have a maxed out save file, it goes so absurdly fast you can't even make out what's happening.
Just like Sonic is meant to be.
Yeah, but with these controls and not being able to react to stuff, is that what you want?
Yes.
2, 1.
Press the one button to break.
Yeah, it's a good thing this game doesn't have trophies or achievements or anything, because a lot of people would feel compelled to do that just to tick the box.
I can't even imagine like a PS5 remaster of Secret Rings, honestly.
No, again, it's the sort of thing that is so tied into the Wiimote that you would have to basically redesign the game from scratch if you wanted it to play with something else.
Yeah. And at that point, you might as well just make a new Sonic game.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that sound effect, Flame.
I hope we hear it another 300 times so we can truly appreciate it.
Only 300? Come on.
I'm trusting you won't die too much so we don't have to hear it.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much.
3, 2,
I mean, this game is one of your favourites, isn't it? So you
Keep
should
the
be
Wii
pretty good
remote
at it by
tilted
now.
back
It's
toward your
underrated.
side to back up.
I ain't ashamed to have Sonic cheeses on my timeline.
That is like the epitome of digging up an old thing someone said to use against them, isn't it, really?
Really. I can't do that against you, because you just don't care.
No. That is the best way to avoid any kind of controversy. Like, the best way to react to people getting mad to you is, yeah, and? Which would you prefer, these tunes or the Werehog theme? I think the Werehog theme's less annoying on the whole because it's like you can still play the game while it's happening. It's not just menu. It's not menu that you're forced to do followed by a load screen. So you can mentally tune it out after a while.
They have said that there is a battle theme in Frontiers. Why they didn't show it off, I have no idea, but...
Just as long as it doesn't pop up quite as often as the Werehog one did. Like, maybe if they save it for the bosses or something, that would make it a lot more tolerable.
We're almost done, guys.
We do have a level structure that we're going to be going through, which is the same one that we used for the LP a few years ago, which is basically the fastest way to beat the game, just doing all the mandatory missions in the audio analog.
Right.
It does mean that there will be parts where we get certain world rings out of order,
You can hide
because
on
the game
places
kind
that
of
have
expects
squared
you to accidentally waste time doing the boring and or frustrating filler missions along the way.
Such is life.
The battle theme from Frontiers is just the first 5 seconds of the Werehog battle theme.
Amazing.
Too easy.
We are free of tutorial land. Level 99 stream when?
I don't know, when do you want to do it, Tom?
Never.
Which marketing is worse, Frontiers or the Wii U? It's kind of hard to compare given they're different things.
I
but
would say the Wii U, hands down. Until its dying day, Nintendo could not shake that image of it just being a new controller, whereas Frontiers, I think people are like slowly coming around on it in general.
Yeah, with Frontiers, at least people know what it is in the fact that it's a new entry in the series, whereas the Wii U, just from the ground up, that was the stupidest fucking name to work with. And like, once you've got that as your thing, you know, anything you try to sell to people, especially given the Wii had a more casual user base who weren't reading online forums and weren't paying attention to gaming events, you know, they kind of shot themselves in the foot from day one.
Yeah. I remember the E3 actually, where they showed off the Wii U for the first time, and it was bafflingly, like, low-key for what was supposed to be the next generation console.
Yeah, and the fact that there was really nothing
Sonic.
gameplay-wise to look forward to at the start. Because, like, for the Wii, you know, they had the Wii Sports on day one, which was obviously the big selling point, but as far as I recall, we already knew that Galaxy was coming. in the early days. So, like, you know, people still had a reason to think, I want this system. And Twilight Princess as well.
Yeah, Reggie was just like, here's a brand new Mario game. It was like, what, Mario Galaxy?
Yeah. Because stuff like that, that's what makes a new Nintendo system feel like a spectacle on it. It's like, you know, we're getting these brand new, improved entries in these beloved series. Whereas the Wii U, it's like they didn't really know what they were doing, just in general.
A suitable punishment is in order, then.
Alright, here's the main conceit of the game. Well, the story, anyway.
Sonic!
Aha! So, this is how judgment is dealt, is it? This should be interesting. You listening? Bring me the 7 world rings before the arrow of flame extinguishes. If you do not, your life is forfeit.
I wouldn't worry too much about that time limit.
I shall collect
No.
all the King
They had a lot of filler missions for erasing. You've got time.
Yeah.
The creator of the Arabian Nights and the main character of the story.
With my speed, we'll just have to make sure we get to him first.
How could he create the Arabian Nights and also be the main character?
Just roll with it.
It's a fairy tale, who cares? Right, here's your skill ring. You can go ahead and put skills of one on it. This one gives you additional rings when you start.
Nice.
Self-insert fanfiction. I guess so.
Three, two, one.
And like I said, the game basically plays itself, and you just tilt Sonic left and right. If an enemy comes along, you jump and do the homing attack. That's Sonic and the Secret Rings in a nutshell.
Yeah, basically, there's a lot of parts where if you do something, that's more likely to fuck you up than just letting Sonic run by himself. But, you know.
I'm not sure if they did other music for the series, but I think the OST for this game is composed by Runnelby.
Rumblebee, yeah. They also did music for the Riders games.
Ah, okay.
Which is a completely different style of music, but I think both of them are solid soundtracks, so, you know, it worked out.
They were cowards for not putting a Secret Rings level in Generations, I'm just saying.
I agree wholeheartedly, and that is one of the biggest missed tricks I feel with Generations, in that with games like this that maybe weren't that well received their first time around, I feel like having a throwback game where you're reusing levels is a good opportunity to give them a second swing. But it was only really Crisis City that they dug from a game that was universally lambasted, you know? Like, even if, like, with that sort of thing, I realise that for marketing purposes you want the games that are popular that people know, but like, this would have been a good opportunity maybe for DLC or something for Generations, which even over a decade later I'm still salty we never got.
Yeah, for sure, mate.
Watch out! The red spirits can breathe fire.
Ah. My jump is not good enough to get that flame ring.
No.
Time to make a U-turn.
So are you going to come back for it later, Tom?
I think not, you trick-ass bitch.
It should be cooler inside.
Doesn't quite look like it.
I don't know, Xehanauto. This opening so far seems a little bit less annoying than the spikes from Team Sonic Racing.
This red ring
Yes,
is a fire
I
soul.
agree. Oh, it's a fire soul, not a flame ring. Silly me. How could I forget such an important fact?
The Flame Ring is the power-up from SA2, I believe.
Your first mission in each new zone, I guess, is usually just to run through it.
Yeah, usually these are the best missions of them before they start giving you other little things that you gotta do.
Secret Rings minigame tournament? I think
Make
not.
sure to tilt the Wii remote
No,
side to side
you invite
very
someone over to play
carefully.
Secret Rings with you and they probably won't come back.
Yeah. Shame, really. They don't know what they're missing. Fuck.
Move the Wii remote forward and backward to head back to the foothold.
I was trying to be too jammy, too speedrunny.
Yeah, that doesn't work with this game.
No.
Just play it safe.
What is the world record for Secret Rings, mate? Could you look that up?
Okay, let me see. Any percent an hour 40.
What?
I'm not even sure how that's possible.
No, unless they just managed to trick the game into letting them skip half the mission somehow.
Really?
Just past that pier is the town.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice one.
I think the Fire Souls unlock stuff in multiplayer.
I think so. I've never looked at the multiplayer myself other than seeing it briefly covered on the stream a while back. Because like, I know it's like a little mini game sort of thing, a mini party mode sort of thing, but I just don't care that much.
I just don't give a shit, Tom. Not a single shit.
Yeah.
Just made it.
Yeah, Justin, this game does have the power to make me actually annoyed at it sometimes, which I don't usually get with games.
Cope and Sieve, my friend. Cope and Sieve. Yeah.
Do you not want your bacon saved, Tom?
No, I don't. Consider my meat not safe. Please stop doing that.
Where is he? Are we too late?
Huh?
What's Dr. Eggman doing here? Aha! I knew it! This is all another one of your schemes!
Oh my god, he's gonna kill him.
What is the meaning of this? I am Sharyar, king of this land.
Eggman, what are you up to this time?
Sonic, wait! You're making a mistake. This is him. This is King Shariar.
Really?
Such insolence! Guards, seize this blue spiky thing at once!
That field went no
Where
guards.
are your men, Your Highness?
The guards are here somewhere, I swear.
Let me explain. When the evil spirits appeared out of nowhere, everyone turned and ran, and I was stuck having to hide in that jar.
And then a pterodactyl just came and swooped him up.
Not the worst thing that could happen while you're stuck in a jar.
Well, well. Guess it's time for a little action.
Do you want me to get these world rings or not? I'm getting mixed messages, Eraser. Alright, so what's the next mission, Bo?
The next one is the Die Hard Challenge Don't Get Defeated.
Okay. And then it was the only one available, so...
Sometimes you get that list open and there's like one about 10 blocks down for some reason because they don't unlock in order.
Well, I guess if the story loses its main character, it ceases to be. I don't know how it works. I've never lived in a book before. As far as you know.
3, 2, 1.
There you go, that's the mini turbo.
I thought of a good drink to go with this game. Gin and Sonic. Well played.
Nice. No, want fire soul. Thank you.
You don't need it.
I do. Sonic.
Yeah, this happens a lot.
There you go, it's like Sonic Origins mission mode.
God.
Just made it.
You could have got Silver Tom if you didn't go back. Oh well. I'm a bronze medal anyway, I can live.
You really okay with just settling for bronze, Tom?
Yeah.
I mean, the two of us have all day, you know.
What's the next one, Flame?
The next one is Special Challenge Don't Break the Jar.
Okay. Always a good thing, not breaking a jar.
You say that, but the next one is Break 5 Jars.
What a bipolar game.
Just a bit.
No, no, no. Please don't break the jar.
Link's most hated mission.
Are you ready?
Sure. Let me show you just how fast I am.
No, Sonic. Whatever, I don't care. Go as fast as you want.
Go as fast as you want, as long as you don't break the fucking jar.
I think these enemies are meant to throw you off, because if you attack them, I think they go flying backwards and smash a jar.
Some do, or you try and do the jump and it's easy to accidentally land on the jar.
Careful now. I know you're going to send me around this corner into a jar.
Yeah, that is the one that catches everyone off.
This stone is full of genie magic.
I think you do have to beat them.
Don't like that one bit. Huzzah!
Nice.
Just made it.
Now you must destroy all the jars in the kingdom. But why? That said so. Ooh, double level up. There we go. I'm gonna hear that when I go to sleep tonight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, thank you. I thought I was done for.
It's going well, Grumpy Glitch. Welcome to the
What are
stream.
you doing here too?
Tails? My name is Alibaba.
Stop LARPing, Tails. I know it's you.
So it's you?
He seems to have
Tails just logged into his roleplay account.
Stop culturally appropriating.
Jesus Christ.
Just because you're not human doesn't mean it's okay.
If you ever need my help in return, it would be the least I could do to repay you.
Thank you. If something comes up, we'll be sure to call you.
It was implied that he was running.
I understood that. Okay, so special challenge, break 5 jars.
Was the logic based on Alibaba, or were the two separate characters in the original stories?
You're asking the wrong person.
I was actually asking the chat, Flame.
Oh, okay. Ah, they're separate, says Feeding Scuff.
Okay. Easy peasy.
Yeah, I agree, Protector remains. It's the story structure that becomes a big problem. It just sort of rubs salt in the wound of the other problems that I have with the game. Just because, like, without looking up a level list, you're gonna be doing some especially shit missions that you don't have to do.
Mm-hmm. There are some notorious ones, which hopefully we'll avoid, but we'll see, I guess. What's the next one?
Dinosaur Jungle, go for the goal.
Gotcha. Few things to note, chat. Dino, it's a jungle. Dino, the Wicked Wild. Alright, we're all caught up now.
Yeah, I understand.
Now, apparently in the Arabian Nights, one character did go to an island of giant lizards, so it's not too out of the realms of possibility.
Just run!
No, but this level does sort of stick out a bit regardless.
Yeah.
I hope those guys don't stick their horns through me.
I hope they don't fucking gore me and my hedgehog guts go everywhere.
They just don't give up.
Bit specific, Sonic.
If we can just get across the bridge up ahead,
Ow.
we should be okay.
That does sound like a Sinbad-esque adventure.
That was a close one.
Sonic, can't you swim?
Can't you steer?
Tilt the wheel
Apparently
left
not.
or right to change direction. The road splits in two here.
It's okay. He probably did something to deserve that.
Sonic, you can't hit it when the flower is closed. If you do a home run while flying high up on the carpet, you can
I don't think I've been this route before. I don't recognise them things.
Yeah. Kinda new to me as well.
and tilt the wheel nut towards yourself. Quickly move it forward again to launch yourself off.
Look out below!
Ah!
A lot of stuff happened and it kind of took me aback.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we do have the most optimal path in our playthrough.
Maybe that's why
Because
the podcast-
I remember when we were originally trying to get it set up for the LP, I was looking up a handful of different walkthroughs, and all the ones I found seemed to have at least one thing wrong with them, so it was a game of just taking it apart and seeing what was working and what wasn't.
Right.
How many of these guys are there?
There's no end to them.
Aha, skip.
Yep, fuck those enemies. The purpose of collecting the pearls will become apparent later on in the game. They just sort of include them in the earlier levels just because.
For decoration, darling.
If
I
those
suppose it
iron
kind of
bullets
ties into the speed up gimmick and that. So if you replay the level, you can once you've got that power, you can probably get better times and whatnot.
Good. I was trying to be jammy. Thankfully, I have infinite lives.
Yeah, that is one
iron
thing this
balls
game does
hit
right.
us, we'll fall into the water.
The sound effect that plays when collecting pearls was reused for the Sonic Speed Simulator on Roblox, by the way.
Well, I got the fire soul at least.
Was it worth it?
It was.
If those
Okay.
iron balls hit us, we'll fall into the water. Be careful, Sonic!
Third time's the charm.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Whoa! Out of the frying pan into the fire, huh?
That about sums it up.
Anyone know what this particular dinosaur is?
A big one.
Bigosaurus.
That's a scientific term, I swear, guys.
Hey, look at its tail.
Ow.
Sure thing, protect remains. Any and all donations are very much appreciated. Looks like a T-Rex. I didn't think T-Rexes had horns on their head like that, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's a T-Rex.
Nah. It can't be because it doesn't have the feathers.
Put on a catapult and tilt the Wii remote towards yourself. Quickly move it forward again to launch yourself off.
Jump!
It's a Mega Evolved T-Rex.
Dear God.
This catapult looks like it works at a different angle than the last.
It was chuck you straight into the water, Sonic.
I think that
Just a
can
little
happen
more,
there.
Sonic.
All right!
Hey, there you go.
Too easy!
A Carnotaur. Neat. I was thinking Allosaurus myself, but... I can has go fast now.
Maybe.
Something! Save me!
The fact that these static cutscenes have more animation than the Team Sonic Racing story, despite coming out over a decade earlier, baffles me.
Yeah, it's like we talked a lot yesterday about how Team Sonic Racing seemed to be like a much smaller scale project than that, and that seems like the sort of thing that was very much a last minute scrambled together kind of deal.
It has a lot of unique voice acting though, which is also confusing.
Castle?
Yeah, although to be fair, if they had the script already done, then they wouldn't necessarily have needed the cutscenes finalised just to get the voice lines done.
I guess. Yeah, this voice actress for Shara also voices Blaze the Cat.
Yeah, Bella Hudson, I think.
Alright, what's next, mate?
Next up is Die Hard Challenge Don't Get Defeated.
Okay.
Yeah, the Black Knight cutscenes were just an improvement in general.
No, I agree, yeah. Well, I get what they were going for with, you know, the pages of a book and whatnot, but,
It's stylized and it works well, which just maybe could have done with a little bit more animation.
Now, what are these dinosaurs over here?
Deformed rams.
Oh, Jesus.
No, Tom, it's not worth it.
I wanted it, so I got it.
But you didn't get it though because you died.
Whatever.
Yeah, Sonic's model's pretty good in this game.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get to keep it. It's alright, Tom. Just cope.
Just gotta move on.
Was the dinosaur rolling these spike balls down? Oh, I'll get him this time.
Maybe.
I think he's just pissed off for a tea break or something.
Can't blame him. Fun fact, T-Rex's arms are sized enough to arm wrestle with humans, but also weirdly humans would win due to their muscles being unable to rotate in such a manner. I'm enjoying that mental image now of just a random guy trying to arm wrestle a T-Rex.
Come fight me, you skinny-armed bitch.
What did you fucking say?
There is something there, but it's invisible, and I believe you need a time stop in order to activate it.
No, okay.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yep, there's a time stop power that we get later on. Morning, Mendez. Welcome to the stream.
Ooh. Sweet Jesus. Alright, mate, next mission, please.
Next up is Rampage, defeat 10 enemies.
Okie dokie.
I think one of my neighbours is lawn mowing, so I apologise if that's coming through the mic.
I can't hear anything.
Cool.
Then again, all I hear is 7 rings in hand, so...
So what you're saying is you want me to ask them to mow their lawn a bit closer?
Yo, turn that shit up. That's my job.
So, feel like going to pick some flowers?
This is no time for goofing around.
Well, look who's here.
Look out, Sonic!
Opinions on the Crush 40 version of 7 Rings in Hand. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I do like the in-game version on its own, just like, you know, obviously the game overkills it a bit.
Yeah.
Crush 41, I just think it's got a lot more power to it. It's more of like a hard rock song rather than Steve Conte's. Steve Conte's style is more of like a classic rock kind of deal, which is great in its own right, but you know, my taste swings a certain way.
It sure does. That wasn't meant to be a backhanded compliment. It sure sounded like one, though.
I'll take it as one just for consistency.
Okay.
It's a shame that they didn't play that at the anniversary concert, but you know, like they did a hell of a lot of stuff there, so something had to be cut.
Just going for a walk. Rude.
Spring said no.
It's alright. Sonic said yes.
Maybe we can use its attacks to get to the other side.
Maybe say that sooner next time, Shara.
Nah, Sonic's just learning by experience.
Maybe we can use its attacks to get to the other side.
There you go.
Sonic can learn.
Very glad this dinosaur doesn't count as an enemy.
Oh yes. I'm glad it doesn't swallow you like that snake in Forces.
Oh, Jesus. One odd set piece.
Yeah, especially for a game like Forces that has very few set pieces like that. Yeah, the anniversary concert soundtrack is up on the music streaming sites now, so if you got Apple Music or Spotify or whatever and you want to listen to it in not shitty YouTube compressed versions, that's probably your ideal way of doing it.
Yeah, it's been up for ages, actually.
Yeah, I think it was a little while after it came out, but a lot of Sonic soundtracks are up on Spotify, I noticed. Though they're not organised that well, so you do have to dig through a little bit. I think most of them are listed under Sega Sound Team as an artist. So you just got to dig through that, and there's a lot of other Sega games that just get sort of mixed in a bit.
Alright, next one, mate.
Next one is Stealth Attack, Don't Defeat Enemies.
Good. That's what I want to do in a Sonic game.
Do nothing, that's the game.
Sweet fuck all.
Do you have a favourite track in Secret Rings' soundtrack?
When the hoop gets smaller,
It
move
might
the remote forward
just be
quickly,
7 Rings in Hand, honestly.
and you can break free.
I would say probably Unawakening Float or The Palace That Was Found.
That was the first one that came to my mind.
His Come to This is pretty good as well. Maybe a little bit more repetitive than some of the others though.
Is that the Ifrit theme? No, that's Razor Jin's theme, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Eraser Jib.
Yeah, just put the goal there, who cares?
Just hope the dinosaur doesn't come back.
Just drop the bottle onto him.
Too easy.
Hopefully everything's been nice and balanced audio-wise so far, guys. Yeah, buddy.
That's where we go next. Audio's A-OK. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Go for the goal.
Yep.
That upgrade was to make the controls better.
What's funny about that is that he's not joking, that's literally what he does.
Is this a castle?
Yeah.
I love that Englishy opening.
Can you, like, find the lyrics and figure out what they're actually bloody saying?
That first line is, if truly free, be stopped never through all that is happening.
What the fuck?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious how Frontiers is going to do progression, because like for the kind of game it is, I would assume there's some kind of like powering up Sonic, one way or another.
Oh, there's a skill tree. Well, I think there's multiple skill trees, actually.
Oh right, that makes sense.
And like, we may have thought he was a bit slow in the overworld. He can get faster, apparently.
Oh, okay, so it does work kind of like this.
Yeah, but with like more options, I suppose.
Hopefully less shit to begin with, that's the main like decider.
Well, as long as I can control it, that's the main thing.
Or I mean, you can use an actual controller, so it's gonna have that benefit to start with.
I think that IGN dude is doing a Q&A on the 29th. That's the last IGN thing.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably get some more information about his 4 hours with the game there.
The air is so hot in here.
You're not gonna evaporate, are you, Shara?
I am actually. Oh, fuck.
You can strike the creature in the head from someplace higher up.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, Golem's seen better days.
Really? I was like his little brother or something.
Yeah. Now that looks closer to the Sonic 3 and Knuckles version rather than the Sonic Adventure 2 version.
Keep trying, and you can break free.
Yeah, we still don't have an answer for who's going to rock the place.
We don't. Archaeologists have been baffled for years.
Just wondering why they didn't study science instead.
Yeah. I put all my money into this fucking Sonic research.
And he just tweeted it out.
Very nice. Can't believe Yuji Naka did that.
Oh yeah, did you see the follow-up tweets later that day?
No, I didn't actually.
He posted a follow-up tweet saying that he thinks it was being misinterpreted in English, and he was referring to this Sonic Central TikTok thing that was Sonic dancing to Billie Jean, and that feels like a cop-out or a please don't sue me thing more than anything.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to be too harsh towards the guy because he does legit have autism, I think. But I don't think he thinks before he posts sometimes.
I know that he has a bit of a reputation for not being the best with people, but it's also one of them things where everyone I've heard that from is like a secondary source, so I don't really want to hold that against the man unless I see it for myself.
No,
you know?
I'm not making any judgments on it, I'm just speaking medical facts there.
Yeah.
Aha! You got me, but I got you. And vice versa. Why is this foundry still operating? What is it making?
It's here just to waste energy.
I guess it runs on thermal.
You know, this is just where Eraser Jin's mining Ethereum.
Jesus.
Ain't got long left, mate. The entire workflow's changing soon.
If I can't get my monkeys in the real world, I'll do it in the world of fiction.
This is all gonna fall apart when Ethereum changes to proof of stake.
Shara, have you ever heard of crypto? It's going to be big. Buy my World Ring NFTs.
Okay, we've killed this.
Yeah, it's dead. Ah yes, the place where spike balls just roll. Good.
Yes, one of the camera angle moments that I always remember from this game because of how often it's fucked me over.
I love how the last mission of this place is like a mirror version of the very first one because it's just escape.
Yeah, that is cool though, to be fair.
Yeah. Booyah. God, this is so relaxing after yesterday's stream.
I bet, yeah.
And I actually,
No, we're not a Pirate Storm yet, so hold your tongue.
I do feel accomplished actually finishing a thing.
Yeah.
Yo, the soul gauge.
There we go.
Just gonna get some quick air, a quick slide, and then it's back to work. Listen closely, y'all.
It's him! What's he doing here?
He's calling more spirits.
Spirits?
Forth from the fiery depths of Jahannam, ye condemned by Iblis, he's afraid.
Now that first part is actually what Merlina chants to bring Sonic into the world of Arthurian legend.
I believe so, yeah. It's a neat little throwback. I like that there is a little bit of continuity between these games, and I'm not sure how common of an opinion this is, but I kind of wish there was a third one.
No, I absolutely agree.
Like, once they got past the Wii, once they got past having to put the Wiimote gimmicks into it, and it just would have been so much better if they were able to do a follow-up that had this setting but didn't rely on this gameplay.
Yeah.
And enough of that rat stuff. Seriously, I'm a hedgehog. Hedgehog.
All you filthy vermin are worthless just the same. At any rate, you'd better hurry it up.
Dang.
With only half of the flame left, only half of your life force remains.
He really is having just a lot of fun recording this.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you! Get out of our way!
Good.
What the? That didn't work?
It's no use, Sonic. Your life is tied to the flame. You cannot fight fire with fire.
Oh yeah? Just watch me! Oh, this does not look good! Shara, lend me your power! Time break! Sorry, but we've got to run. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll get the chance to play again real soon.
He's still there to this day, frozen.
How did the TSR stream go, by the way? It went on for quite a while.
And that was just playing the game normally.
Yeah.
I think we have a donation, mate.
Okay, well, before I get to that, you need to go back to Sand Oasis head-to-head, beat Uhu to the goal.
Okay.
But if I have a look, yes, we have a donation from Eggman, who says, "You dare try to bring crypto into my world? I think not, Eugene. Eggpot's attack."
Oh, Jesus. Now, I think it's mostly that everyone would like it to be the Greek myths, because that's kind of the next obvious one, mythology-wise.
Yeah, that. Maybe Egyptian? You haven't really done that much.
You could do Sonic and the Three Kingdoms. Actually, that just sounds good as a title.
I don't think Sonic in the Holy Bible would happen officially. There is that one fan game though, isn't there?
Oh, yes. When you fight the final boss, he actually kills Sonic, but then Sonic resurrects 3 days later. Gets a new super form.
Biblically accurate Super Sonic.
Yeah, buddy.
You could do a Sonic take on Journey to the West.
Yeah.
They've done little nods to that before. There's a little nod to that in Blast.
Just made it!
Holy shit, how are they still mowing the lawn outside when their lawn is tiny?
Maybe the grass demon's got him, but it's just sitting there running.
Then we escape back
I mean,
here.
given the particular neighbour it is, I would be okay with that, but hey.
Oh, jeez.
Sinbad might be able to share some of his worldly knowledge with you.
So, where is he?
Well, according to rumor, he was fighting some pirates when he was taken away by the roof.
The roof?
Are we looking forward to the Sonic Prime Netflix series? I'm kind of apathetic. I'll probably check it out when it comes out, but I'm not really overly hyped.
Yeah, I'm not super excited, but I think it will be decent.
Bird thing.
Yeah, like,
The roof lock
I
someday
don't think it's for me, if that makes sense. It feels like it's, from what we've seen, they're probably going to be targeting it as more of a young kid sort of thing.
What is thy wish?
We need that magic carpet. We've got ourselves a roof to track down.
And off they go.
Yep, so next up is Levitated Ruin.
Cool.
No, it's Levitated Ruin, it's not cool.
Yeah, you're right. Probably not my favourite level in the game.
It's fucking shit, you don't have to mince words. The way the wind blows you back and hampers your control even more.
It's either this or Skeleton Dome, I think.
Skeleton Dome's harmless for the most part, like as long as you don't let the part that loops fuck you up.
Man, this wind is strong.
Remember when I used to do like no-hit runs on stuff?
Yeah, I remember multiple times when you gave up doing secret rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Understandable. It's like these games in themselves, it's like the controls just too sloppy in part that if you get hit, there's a chance that it genuinely wasn't your fault. So it's not like, you know, if you're trying to get a good rundown of some of the other more speed-based Sonic games where, like, it's a demonstration of whether you are skilled or not.
Mm-hmm. I just kind of had to give that up for my own mental health, really.
Like, for the most part when I'm recording runs, I try to get perfect runs down, but, like, there's a limit, you know?
Yeah, I tried to go for streamlined runs more than anything.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's whether I have an excuse to cop out or not, because, like, if I'm emulating something, then there's literally no excuse not to do it perfectly, but if it's something like this where you get to the end of, like, a 6-minute level and then something happens that's not your fault, then it's like, you know, why bother?
Yeah. Thanks, Shara.
Shara's helping.
I say as if it was her fault.
She talked while you were trying to not die, so it's her fault.
You're not getting away.
After him, Sonic! When your soul gauge has
Oh, according to Toraken, the Rook is where we got the Rook chess piece from. So originally that was a chariot before it got changed to the castle.
I can believe that.
Yeah, and they say that that's where the idea of it doing the straight line movement came from, because of the Rook flying forward. Yeah, the grind rails are terrible in this game.
Yeah, they're not great. Sonic? Sonic.
This is the Levitating Ruins experience, guys. He's not a Knight of the Wing just yet.
Nope.
Here we go, Shara.
Sonic, slow down!
Hey, if you want to play tag, go do it someplace else.
Good. Reflexes of a god, folks.
Leave it to me. Speed break.
I mean, like, conceptually, this is pretty cool. It's like another version of Egg Fleet.
In a way, yeah, just more appropriate to the setting. It's just that spectacle moments like this particular section don't really work with how Secret Rings goes, because it just takes a lot of the oomph out of it when you've got Sonic very slowly walking upside down on the lit up track, rather than it being, you know, how most of the 3D games do their spectacle moments.
Yeah, I agree. Looks cool, though.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you got to remember, this was a very early Wii game. So, like, the fact that the visuals look as good as they do, at a time when a lot of developers were moving on to doing HD stuff on the 360 and PS3, like, the fact that they got such an art style that works so well, even in standard def, like, I can appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Running on the path reminds you of Starlight Carnival. I see it.
Yeah, I see it too, yeah. Wow, this level's still going.
Yeah, it sure is, and there's another one after this in this area.
That's fine.
It's not, it's the Sinbad's Cage one.
Fuck me.
They just keep coming.
Yeah, you're right. The Sonic teams have been consistent with environmental art. I would say out of all the games that are coming to mind, the only one where the environments do look a bit rough is probably 06.
Just a little more, Sonic.
Yeah, and you know, there's the whole Sonic looks like he was just pasted in Frontiers discourse.
I feel like we need to wait and see the proper context of that, because I agree that it does look a little bit unfitting, but like, given what we've been told about the premise, that's probably intentional.
Maybe.
Forces is hit and miss with that, because some of the areas do still look pretty nice. I think part of why it seems underwhelming is that when you hear that they spent years working on a successor to the Hedgehog engine, you expect the most fucking beautiful video game you've ever seen.
Really?
And then Forces comes out and it's alright, you know?
It's aight.
I don't know, I think there were earlier games from that era that held up a bit better than 06, because 06's problem is that the areas just feel empty and unlived in.
Yeah.
Especially the big open jungle area, that's arguably the worst part of that.
Hey, Knuckles! How'd you get here?
I am Sinbad of the Seven Seas, adventurer of adventurers. Who the heck are you?
I miss Dan Green.
It truly is you.
Dan Green was great as Knuckles, yeah.
Would you be willing to give us some of your world?
I think the most recent thing I saw with Dan Green in it was the remake of the first Pokemon film that they did, where they cast him as Mewtwo.
Oh, okay.
And he was great in that.
You're the ones who should be helping me.
I feel a strong magical force here.
Must be the magical locks I can see on the cage.
Probably, yeah. You're right, Toarak, and Dan Green is at his best when they let him just completely ham it up.
That's the ticket, Shara.
Because, like, he is your go-to big voice man, isn't he?
He got his start in hentai after all.
I don't know if that was his first work, but that was some work that he did.
I'll help you out later. Not a bad deal, huh?
Wisdom? Knuckles? Never
Like, a lot of people bring that up in regards to Dan Green, but a lot of voice actors you know have done hentai at some point, so I don't know why it's tied to him so much.
I'm not judging him for it, I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah. Like, work's work at the end of the day.
Alright, special challenge.
Open Sinbad's Cage, that's the one.
Nope, I need more power. Despite all his rage, he's still Sinbad in a cage. Hey, it was Professor Pickle. I always forget about that.
Yeah. Because that's the one that's probably the least instantly recognisable as him role from Sonic, isn't it? Other than maybe the ice cream guy. I'm pretty sure he was the ice cream guy in Unleashed as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
All right, let's get started.
Tom, do you need ultimate power?
Ultimate power. Oh my god, who wants their bacon ate? Me.
Cringe before Zavok.
I was hoping that would be like a pop-up on the screen, like the characters are talking, but it wasn't. It was just a voice line, so...
I think it pops up if you're playing as Zavok.
Okay, homework, Flame. I want you to find me that so I can post it.
I have a video that I played as Zavok from a while back. I may have to dig into that after we're done today.
Okay, now what? Should I pull
I'm
this
probably the only person to have played as Zavok willingly, and I did it for the meme.
Yes, yes indeed.
lever? Huh? We're back to where we started.
Yeah, Professor Pickle does like his cucumber sandwiches. That's his character.
Oh well, guess we get to have a little more fun.
Fun? Is that what all this...
Well, look who's here.
Look out, Sonic!
2 whole enemies. Oh, Jesus. Titty fucking Christ, Sonic.
Pickle Unleashed was beautiful, yeah. I assume you're talking about the mod that makes him playable.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Deimos, I hate to break it to you. I know it's hard to accept, but you're not actually our son.
What?
Deimos, whenever he's been in a stream lately, he just opens with, "Hi, Mum."
Don't like that. Awkward.
Just kind of makes me think of that one alternate ending from Zero Wing where the enemy guy is just like, "I'm your mother, call me mummy."
Rather not.
Yeah, Tom, you really shouldn't have responded like that to Deimos, because now he's going to do it more often.
Well, I am focusing on the game, so...
Fair.
I'm glad Sonic knows where to go, because all these routes look the same to me.
It really is, and there's a lot of going backwards and forwards in this one as well. I actually like this camera.
It's fucking great, mate.
Yeah, there's no way to get a good angle for this section, you just have to bluff it.
Thank you. I needed health ring.
If we can stop the sand flow, we can probably walk across.
If that doesn't help, it just makes it more painful when you do get hit.
Yep. Yeah, what's the point of slowing down time if you're slow as well?
Yeah. That was a bit of a limp way of falling off the edge, that.
It's okay. Everything's fine.
Just one more to go.
Yeah, I'm just saying, the locks are on the front of the cage. And only the front of the cage.
But because Knuckles is wearing boxing gloves, he can't let himself out.
Excuse me, Sinbad.
Knuckles.
Donkey.
I'm not shaving my head, Deimos, and what mum has a beard down to their fucking nipples like I do? suppose slowing down you and the game can help with precision in certain points, but I don't know, like, there's not really many spots where you'd need that.
I'm good at this.
The underrated experience you've always wanted.
Truly.
Why does it put the camera that way?
I don't know, Flame. I didn't make the bloody game.
Let me just email Sega real quick. Where's their press email address?
Yo, Yuji Naka, what the fuck, mate?
I know that he had left before this, but still, let's ask him anyway.
Did he leave in the middle of 06?
I think so, yeah, but given this was like a side project, a B-Team project, he probably didn't have anything to do with this.
Go Sonic, you bastard! Wow.
We got to die in slow motion. April 2006, that sounds about right.
Thrilling gameplay.
Finish!
And the final one just vaporizes Sinbad.
I mean, that's what we were setting out to do, right? Any highlights from last hour? I mean, highlights by Secret Ring standards is quite low, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. I mean, Razor Jin tried to sell his NFTs, if that counts.
I guess, yeah.
Don't believe his lies.
Yeah, I regret to inform you, you do have to go to Pirate Storm next.
Alas.
Okay, so about the fire genie then.
That's fine, Silver Dude, I realised it was you.
Splashing some water on him.
Wow, the wisdom of Sinbad of the Seven Seas, the adventurer of adventurers.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think Yuji Naka had much involvement in the programming side of things at all in the later days of him being there. Which is kind of a shame, because that's the thing that he was really fucking good at.
I was getting to that.
Huh.
You see, the pirates who locked me up here took the water blue ring I used to control storms.
A water blue
Ring.
First a fire genie and now pirates, huh? The Arabian Nights really are worlds of endless adventures, aren't they?
He just loves a good adventure, does our Sonic. Go for the goal, mate.
Yep. Go for the goal, follow the pirates.
Okay.
Let's go, Shara!
Be careful, Sonic! The seas have turned stormy.
Well, so much for a vacation.
These guys are probably my least favorite enemies in the game.
Sonic, watch out!
I kind of get why, yeah. Although the ones that suddenly get a shield around them so you can't hit them in the inside areas, one of them are annoying as well.
Good.
Let's go, Shara.
I just pulled an IGN by jumping over the thing I was meant to walk onto.
The seas have turned stormy.
Well, so much for a vacation.
Yep, 7.8 and all that. Yeah, this music's alright. It's not one of my favourites on the soundtrack.
When your soul gauge has power, press the plus control pad down.
Yeah, we don't have Rush or Rush Adventure on the set list for the marathon, but that's mainly because, speaking for myself at least, I don't feel comfortable enough playing those games live.
Yeah, so.
But at some point we most likely will do a Rush Adventure LP to follow up the Rush one. Like, it's a Sonic game, so we're going to get to it eventually, but that is one that I am interested in covering. Yeah, I remember Rush Adventure's level design being pretty good, but it's just like Tarakin says, a lot of the other stuff, like the grindy nature of level progression in itself, is something that sticks out to me.
Yeah, for sure. I just prefer how simple Rush is.
Yeah. I think the first Rush on the whole got the better soundtrack as well.
Yes. Well, it wasn't the same dude on the second one, was it?
No, I think it was Atani trying to replicate Naganuma's style. And like, there are some bloody good songs on there and in its own right, it's just doesn't quite have the same charm to it as the first one did.
No.
Whoa!
Oh, you are so reckless.
See, now this is why I love coming to the ocean.
Yeah, Atani and Namba were on Rush Adventure.
Sonic, watch out!
You gotta fight them enemies, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I like how this homing attack works. There's a split second as you're jumping backwards where it locks onto an enemy behind you.
What was that, Flame?
I mean, you did end up fighting them anyway, didn't you?
No comment.
How many of these guys are there?
There's no end to them.
Well, look who's here.
Look out, Sonic!
Jimbo McGee? Who are you talking about, Sonic?
I think you can do a homing attack on the sword that's stuck here.
Yeah, this part of the level just sort of fligs you all over the place, and I'm really not sure what's up with the invisible grind rails.
Yeah.
Sonic and Samus have one thing in common. Each had a Wii game that might have been better received if they went for a more conventional control scheme.
Not untrue.
Oh, it's so pretty!
Speed break. Speed break.
I've got a bad feeling. Be careful.
Slowed down a bit too much there.
You might be able to slip on through. Talk about a close call.
Had me worried there for a second. Yeah!
Yep, we're still on the same mission at Pirate Store.
Jesus Christ.
It's a meaty level.
I'll take that. Good. Okay.
Looks like Christmas.
God. Yeah, you'd have beaten basically any Forces level 3 or 4 times by now.
You could have beaten Forces 3 or 4 times over by now.
Great job, Sonic.
This is being played on a Wii U right now, Mass Attack. So it's upscaled a little bit, but not anything like fancy.
Yeah.
Let's head for the goal.
Don't strain yourself too much.
You okay there?
I'm fine, but Jesus, a nearly 7-minute level in a Sonic game.
Yep. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind that if it wasn't in Secret Rings. Like, I don't mind that Unleashed levels go on a bit, because they're solid levels.
H-Expand. Ask your doctor about H-Expand today.
I'm not going to do that.
No.
There they are.
There they is.
Have the ring that lets them control the power of storms.
Shoot first and ask questions later, huh? That's pirates for you.
Come on, let's just hurry.
All right, fine. Let's do it.
Alright, so next up is Die Hard Challenge, Don't Get Defeated.
Okie doke.
And while you do that, I'm just going to step away for a moment.
Okay. There you go. Expand the range of the homing attack. And don't forget, folks, we are raising money for Child's Play here, so get those donations in. Once we break 2k, you'll unlock a second incentive day with a bunch more games. Ooh. I believe we've got before and after the sequel in that block.
All right, let's get started.
Good luck, Sonic.
Whoa, don't want to fall here. Looks like we've got our hands full.
Sonic, are we going to be okay?
No, Shara, we're all going to die.
Go up here.
Good job. You can tilt the wheel remote left and right to move when flying.
Balls.
Oh no, this just isn't my day.
Maybe you should tilt it better, Tom.
2, 1.
All right, let's get started.
Good luck, Sonic.
Whoa, don't want to fall here. Looks like we've got our hands full.
Sonic, are we going to be okay?
Maybe we should go up here.
I no longer care for that red soul. No thank you. Not for me.
You can tilt the Wii remote left and right to move when flying. That was close.
No problem.
Really? This one mission made you give up on the game? I can think of worse, honestly.
Keep going, Sonic.
All right already.
Just a little more, Sonic.
All right.
There we go.
Too easy.
Alright.
Just in time, mate.
Yep, so next up will be the stealth attack. Don't defeat enemies.
Okay. I'm not allowed to have fun. Stop having fun.
Oh, did you almost have fun in that level? Was it getting a bit worrying?
Almost. Very nearly. I was getting a bit worried. I'm very glad that worked out because I was getting worried.
Okay, Discord might not be picking up the lawnmower, but Audacity definitely is, so I'm gonna have fun later.
Good.
Yeah, I just wanted to go down for a little bit, just saying check on me little dog, because she's downstairs on her own right now.
Aww.
And although I know her hearing isn't what it used to be, I do get a little bit worried because I know sometimes she gets disturbed when there's noise outside.
You do what you gotta, mate. Booyah.
Nice.
Just made it. No such thing as a...
Ba-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na.
I'm sick of it already.
The same.
Okay, Rampage, defeat 20 enemies.
It's weird how these things are always like back to back.
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense a little bit, but you would have thought they might list them next to each other if that's the case.
Yeah. I assume after this it's the boss.
Yeah.
Cool.
First boss of the run.
Thank fucking Christ. Only 2 hours in. I think after this though we'll start to speed up.
A little bit, yeah. Like, we'll be going back to Evil Foundry after this.
Oh yeah, of course, because we need the Blue World Ring to calm down the Ifrit so we can fight it.
Which game do you find more tedious to play, this or 06?
06 really.
To me, like, I don't despise 06 the way I do this. And, like, well, yeah, it's longer and it gets a bit more monotonous. Like, I'm not actually that bothered by it. Whereas this it is because of the controls are more frustrating. Right? And I'll rather be a bit underwhelmed with the pace of a game than actively being annoyed at it.
I think it's a small jump you need to do though.
Yeah, you just gotta tap it a little bit and then go forward.
It's like if I jump from here. There we go.
Yeah. I think it's moments like that the slowdown's designed for, so you can line yourself up and whatnot. But again, like I said, there's so few and far between that it doesn't really justify the power.
Can I go back? I would like to go back more. No, apparently not.
No. It cycles around, so it don't really matter.
Not to fall.
Yeah, the Wii kind of did what it needed to do, tech-wise, but it was definitely like the beginning and the end of Nintendo giving a shit about hardware.
Yeah.
And that gets more and more annoying to me as time goes on.
Very much so.
Because like the thing is, the Wii being how it was so different in specs, like compared to its contemporaries, that developers would account for that when designing games, and that's why you used to get like a lot of unwished situations where you would just have a different version of the game made for it, and you know, it was designed from the ground up to work on it. Whereas the problem you have now with the Switch is that it's basically just the same games but on low settings with lowest frame rate. And it, I don't know, bearing in mind that like how game development works, they still do sort of have to account for that if they're going to be making a Switch version. So ultimately it just means if a game's multi-platform, it can't take advantage fully of the higher specs of the other systems out there.
No.
And like you see some of the cool stuff that certain PS5 games have been doing, taking advantage of the fact that there's an SSD there and on the Xbox Series X and whatnot. If a game's coming to Switch, they just can't do any of that shit to start with. And this is the problem that people have had with, like, if they primarily play on PC last gen, in that the PS4 and the Xbox One became outdated very quickly, but games that were going to be coming to consoles and PC, the PC version couldn't really flex either.
Sonic!
This should be interesting. Come on, let's have some fun.
Alright, boss time.
Yeah, and that's the other problem Goldman brings up, in that the games that can't run on the Switch flat out, the workaround they've found are the cloud versions. And I had tried that Kingdom Hearts cloud version demo out of sheer morbid curiosity, and just fucking don't. Like, it is really bad. It's like a second of input lag.
Not good for an action RPG.
Not good for fucking anything. Like, even if I was just scrolling through menus using a VN, I'd be annoyed at that.
Oh, now I don't know which one the pirate is.
PS4 and Xbox One's release timing was just bad in general. It was like, it was too late for the specs it had, but it was a bit too early for the improved GPUs and whatnot that would come out very shortly afterward. So it became outdated very quickly, and that's why you got the like PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which didn't really fix the problem because like developers still need to make a version of the game that would work on the original releases. So you just ended up with this miserable little compromise. I think that generation of consoles is probably going to leave the least impact in history. Because, like, what really defines that generation? There's nothing really, is there?
Nope. Buzz.
Yeah. All the memorable games from that era play better on the new systems. So, like, there's no reason why you might be, like, a collector who wants to keep hold of the original hardware. Like, you have no benefit from that. Switch has a fairly modern chipset, but it's a fairly modern tablet chipset, which doesn't match up to the Xbox Series X and the PS5, which are basically PCs.
Me when I pull out people's horns, yay.
Do you do that often?
Gotta do something on weekends.
Speed break. Yeah.
But yeah, speaking about like the whole console situation now, I'm actually feeling a lot more positive about consoles as a whole than I was last gen. And that's because both of the systems now, like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, they have genuinely good hardware, and I feel like we'll probably start to appreciate that more once there's more of the systems out there. Because that's the thing that's holding them back right now, because there was the chip shortage and there was such a limited number of the systems around, all the games that they were releasing solely as a current gen exclusive, like that was basically marketing suicide, because no one could buy the fucking thing. I feel like once that problem's resolved properly and, you know, like most people have one or both of the new systems, then we'll start seeing something truly special coming out. And I will say though that in terms of the Xbox Series X, I think that might be my favourite console hardware-wise, like, not hardware-wise, but like in terms of the OS that it's got going on. But they need more games for the fucking things, because like all the exclusives that I'm interested in are on the PS5. Yeah, the PS5 is basically on par with the 20 series graphics cards.
There we go.
20 series graphics cards, which are really good by most people's standards, except for some lucky bastard here who has a 30 series card.
Don't know who that could be.
The one with arguably the best rig in the whole group right now.
Yeah.
Just made it. No such thing as a
The handhelds in that generation have staying power. The 3DS and like the PS Vita got forgotten about, but the 3DS was great. I prefer playing games on my 3DS to the Switch. It's just got a much more comfortable handheld form factor.
Another of the 7 world rings.
Another, despite it being our first one. Like, I'm not sure which one they expect you to have by now, because I think the Sand Oasis one might have unlocked, but you know, that involves going out of order, like in the levels that you're doing. So you know,
Sonic.
This has to be the
I'll answer this one for Tom because I know how Tom is with tech. Tom's old PC had a 2060. I think the new one has a 3060. That's why I told you to keep that old one around as a backup, because that's still a bloody good card in its own right.
I'm using it as a stand for the fan behind me right now, honestly.
this genie.
I mean, that's the most function it has in its current form.
True that. Yeah, we've been quite lucky the last few days in terms of like weather and whatnot. It's stayed mostly below 20.
Yeah, so up next you want to go to Die Hard Challenge Don't Get Defeated in Evil Foundry.
Okay, cool.
The 1660 Ti is not bad for a laptop guard.
He says.
Do you know what that is, Tom?
It is a computer thing.
3, 2.
This is why I handle the tech side of stuff, guys.
That's fine. I would rather someone who knows what they were talking about handles that sort of thing.
Although, to be fair, I know what I'm talking about because I had Volk explain it to me a few years ago.
As long as we have someone who knows what they're doing explain to another person who knows what they're doing, we're sound as a pan.
Yeah, basically. My system right now that I'm using is a little bit outdated. It's running a 1070. which it still covers for most of the stuff that I need, which is why I haven't bothered upgrading anything yet. But like, it is getting to a point now where if I'm playing a new game, I do need to start turning the settings down a bit. But that's the beauty of playing games on PC, in that you can do that. You don't have to buy another £500 device just to play a new game.
Still prefer consoles.
You can have that opinion, and that's fine.
Jesus Christ. Rings, please.
Anything notable for the PSTV in that console generation? The PSTV is basically a Vita that plugs into your TV as a console. It's got such a limited use, unless you are really interested in playing PSP and PS Vita games on your TV, I wouldn't really worry about it. Like, I got mine when it was dirt cheap. I think I paid like 20 quid for it. But they're a lot more expensive now, so I wouldn't really worry about one. I've just checked our group chat, and the last message you posted before we started was using Lou BRB, and Smoothies has just replied saying, "One hell of a Lou break."
Tell him I drowned if you want.
Okay.
Ring of water, bring forth a mighty storm.
Sonic, look! The Ifrit is getting weaker!
Okay, now let's finish him off. You know, I'd let you play around more than enough for one thing.
Sonic, be careful! The Ifrit is no child!
I don't actually know what triggers his things to open up.
I don't know if it's just a cycle when he finishes doing that fucking barrel shit. No, apparently not. I don't know.
Try to find some way to get the Ifrit to lower his head into range. As the Ifrit's body sinks, the water level in the furnace rises. That's it! You found its weak point!
Why does it keep resetting the ring placements mid-phase?
I don't know.
Like, that just seems like a really weird thing that it does, like, compared to the other stuff which is just flat out bad.
Maybe not little. All right. Looks like it's almost lights out for you, big guy.
Good.
Nice. It's finally done.
Now I see why they tell you not to play with fire.
Because you fucking die. Yeah.
Epic own Sonic.
Too easy.
Oh, you got silver somehow.
Don't tell nobody that was a second attempt. I got up to the last hit needed, and then just like my homing attack fell short, and I fell into the lava.
Yeah.
Ba-da-na-na.
Yeah, that was actually take 19, guys.
What the?
What is this thing? Is something about to hatch?
I can hear something like a heart.
Yeah, getting rings in that boss is much easier said than done.
I think that might be some sort of time bomb.
It's beating faster.
Oh no, this can't be good. We've got to get out of here. This thing has to explode out in the open.
You're right.
It will ruin the economy if it doesn't.
Okay, we've got to run away quickly, but first, Make Believe's reborn.
Yes, practice makes perfect in Sonic and the Secret Rings. Shara, my dear.
And once you've practiced enough, you have a useful life skill you can put on your CV.
Alright, let's go.
Let's not let it blow up this time.
I'll try not to in this timeline.
Let's go, Shara.
Yeah. That is kind of a horrifying image when you realise that means that somewhere out there there's a multiverse full of dead Sonics floating around.
Well, of course there is. There would have to be.
Yeah.
Every time you died in a Sonic game, that's a different multiverse.
Yeah. There's a universe where Yoshi are never sacrificed. I don't know about that one.
Yoshi jumps off Mario in that one.
Yeah.
Careful, Tom.
It still cracks me up in fucking Yoshi Safari in like the results screen. There's this animation where Mario just starts randomly shooting Yoshi with a gun for no apparent reason.
A little bit sussy.
Just a little bit.
Nice.
Yoshi's Safari is a light gun game, I believe, on the Super Nintendo. Snake played that for us a couple of years ago in the Super Nintendo-thon, and that was one of my favourite runs from that marathon.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with them crushers, because they will fuck you up. It feels like it should have sent you a bit further than it did.
He's supposed to come back upgraded.
I think I see the exit.
I see the exit, Shara, but I'm going to stop right here.
The bomb will wait for us.
And then it didn't.
The bomb going off has the mission unlocked sound effect.
Ba-na-na-na.
Skeleton Dome.
Okay, I guess.
The go for the gold mission's fine.
Come on, we're almost there.
Goal, 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 goal.
Hey, look at this.
Is that what I think it is?
Yep, another one of the 7 world rings.
I wonder if it was inside the Ifrit this whole time.
I feel rage. All that rage must have been sealed up inside of him.
Rage?
These rings must somehow seal in various emotions, too. The power of rage.
Roll.
So then what's next?
Let's go meet with King Solomon.
I believe Rage is one of the world rings that Sonic takes in to become Darkspines.
That would make sense, yeah.
I think it's Rage, Hatred, and Sadness.
Yeah, the really negative ones.
Adventure.
I appreciate when they invent new, unique MacGuffins to give Sonic a new form.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't make sense to just use the Chaos Emeralds for something else. But yeah, we're going on to Skeleton Dome, go for the goal.
Okay, dope. Can't afford it, yep.
Snow? No, it's something else.
The dandruff of a giant.
I guess that works.
Many such cases.
These bones are giving me the creeps.
You can probably use them to climb up.
Speed break.
Good.
Glad they put that there.
This doesn't seem very sturdy.
Try breaking it with a homing attack.
You must be careful, Tom.
Yeah, the player, I like the visual design in this area quite a lot.
It's okay, I guess, you know. Yeah.
It's doing like a dusty sort of area and making it look cool. I appreciate that a lot.
I do appreciate a good aesthetic.
Yeah. And the fact that you got particle effects on the fucking Wii. This would have been cool in Generations.
Yeah.
Because it's like an entirely unique level trope, isn't it?
I still would have, what's the word I'm looking for here? Lobbied for Night Palace.
That's fair, yeah, because that's just like the really pretty level.
It would either be that or Sand Oasis, I think.
Yeah, Sand Oasis, I feel like if you put it in, it would just feel like generic desert.
Nailed it.
Beautiful.
Nailed it again. I think I might be on world record pace here, Flame.
I think you failed that twice over by now.
No, I think you're wrong, Flame. I think I'm right here.
What was it? I think it was 1 hour 40 you said. Yeah, so... yeah, you fucked that one.
two-handed sword.
Or you can just run into the guy. That works as well, Sonic.
Attack like that?
Yeah, that hit was a little bit later.
Good.
I just knew that was gonna happen.
Two-handed sword.
Jesus.
Nearly went through the fucking ceiling.
When in doubt, kill them all, Sonic.
Speed break. Speed break.
They should just take me through that thing and make me invincible. Like the good boy that I am.
No, you still actually have to play the game, I'm sorry.
Really? In this day and age?
No, you can't just buy the DLC that beats it for you, I'm sorry.
What DLC does that nowadays?
Well, there's a lot of games that are very paid to win, and where the idea is that they have grindy elements that are tedious to play, so it's a paid incentive to skip past that.
Oh, gotcha, essentially.
Well, Gacha and like the one I've noticed a few games now. Like I played a bit of, I want to say, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which has like a leveling up system. That the next story mission unlocks at a certain level, and like you can grind that by doing side missions, or you can pay them to bump up your level, which kind of sums up how I feel about the side missions.
I'd rather pay him to fuck off, honestly.
Or just not engage with it at all.
This level is still going.
It is. But then it is like the main one of the thing, go for the goal one, isn't it? So that's understandable. Yeah, most of the level tropes in this game are unique, which I like. I think, like, there's the Sand Oasis is generic desert level, but other than that, they are pretty much original. It's like this whole bone aesthetic that this is going on. The only example that comes to mind for me of this being done elsewhere is Mega Man 4 Skullman stage.
Welcome to the Bone Zone.
Is this a tomb?
I think I'll leave, thanks.
Some kind of arena. King Solomon should be in here.
I'd almost rather it were deserted at this point.
Can we take any of the sculpt with us? No? Okay.
I require only speed. And I ain't talking about the drug.
Just made it.
What a bizarre score.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It was 2,999.
Oh, okay.
I am denied my sweet level ups. Ba-da-da-da-da. There we go.
I swear one of those took very slightly longer to load than the others, so it felt like it was over.
It does that.
I should say
Yeah.
so.
Whoa!
King Solomon?
Indeed. I am the great and powerful King Solomon.
If you say so.
Don't think I'm happy looking this way either. The Eraser Jinn did this to me. He resurrected the 40 thieves as evil spirits and sent them to attack me here.
And that's how you ended up like that?
Precisely, my dear. And that being the case, could I ask you a favor?
Might I beseech you to track down the rest of my body?
And some
I'd
skin
also
while
be
you're at
grateful
it.
if you could do something about the
King
force.
Solomon got ahead of himself.
Wah,
That's one
wah.
particular memes.
Alright, next mission, Flynn.
The next mission is Rampage, defeat 40 enemies for the 40 Thieves.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, time to rumble.
Runs directly into that.
Don't get too careless.
Oh yeah, you have to hit them switches to wake them up, don't you?
Okay, next switch.
Next.
And that's 2.
Wow, this place is huge.
So this is why they call it the skeleton dome.
I guess.
It does have skeletons.
Good. It's okay, we'll just roll it back.
It doesn't want you to drive by, does it?
Not really, no. Thank you, Jesus. Why, thank you.
Wow, this place is huge.
That was some camera work, alright.
So this is why they call it the skeleton dome.
Already said that, Sonic.
Who needs that bacon saved?
Looks like Christmas. Why don't you wake it up?
Oh, there we go.
Who did I miss? I will find you.
Okay, next switch.
I heard rustling of bones back here. There he is.
Just hiding right there.
Just made it. No such thing as an.
Oh, it was the perfect number for a brief second there. That's enough, thank you. Please. Sweet baby Jesus.
Hey, look at this.
It's a white ring. One of the 7, I'm sure.
Oh, definitely one of the world rings. It feels like light. To think this little thing could cause so much trouble.
You mean the ring?
Such great power can bring people either happiness or misfortune.
There are many such stories told of in the Arabian Nights.
For instance, this ring seems to be filled with desire. That could mean aspiration, or maybe it could be greed and ambition. Just what does Eraser want by collecting all of these rings?
I don't know, maybe he wants a big pie.
I can accept that.
We all have different desires, Shara. Mine is a big pecan pie. Please respect that.
Alright, so up next is Special Challenge Find the King's Bones.
Okay.
I remember this being the annoying one from this world.
There we go. I feel nothing.
Just got a few more dents in my skull, but I'll live with that.
Where is the next one? Bring that bone to me!
Spooky, speedy skeletons.
Not entirely sure what attacking that hand does.
It's attacking that hand that brings you to this next part of the level. I remember that was when we were recording the footage for the LP, that was one of the things that threw us off a few times for this. Because it's like, you have to hit the hand before it gets all the way round that circular section, I think. But if you don't, then you end up just running in circles repeatedly.
No.
Not quite that far.
Where am I going?
What the fuck?
I didn't feel like I could go up anymore.
Huh.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, so just take the dash pad, don't go into that.
Okay.
There might be something cool there, but we don't need to know.
Could have turned secret rings into a 10 out of 10, but I guess we'll just have to settle for a 6.5.
Yeah. I'm sure if there was like a fucking like red soul thing up there, it would have changed our opinions on the game entirely.
Indeed. Boing.
Boing slowly.
Sonic Blizz. Can I turn this off, please?
I don't think so. Oh yeah, you can.
Goodbye, Skeleton Dome. See you never. Well, at least until the next Sonic-a-thon, anyway.
No, you have one more mission after this.
Fuck.
Just made it.
And many such spirits were driven to madness.
As I was saying when I
My
was just
fault
ahead.
That they became the minions of the Eraser Jinn. However, by carving up the words that make up our world, new spirits have also appeared. His power is nearly godlike.
Godlike, huh? Well, that's a problem then.
Even so, supernatural beings like the Eraser Jinn always have weak points that are told of in stories.
Huh?
In truth, he is a genie of the lamp. Somehow, though, he has escaped. If we had the lamp he belongs to, it could be possible to seal him away again. Forever.
Lamp, huh?
There is one problem, though. Returning the lost stories to their original state requires greater power than we have. It would take a miracle.
Deimos has suggested we do a Nickelodeon game marathon. The problem there is I haven't really played any of them.
Same. And I barely know anything about any of their properties either.
Hedgehog. A great curse has been placed upon you.
Your games will be mid forever.
I can see in your eyes the grim fate that awaits you.
Hey, quit staring. You're giving me the creeps.
I'm a bit hesitant to put this upon you, but I will tell you this. You can find the Eraser Jinn in his palace up in the sky. Show me that your part of this legend can come true.
Thanks. Now it's time I make a legend for myself then.
Hold the white world ring up to the palace gates, and they will open.
Okay. Thanks for your help.
I sense death approaching.
What a screenshot.
Oh, missed it.
It's okay. I know it in my heart. What's next, mate?
Okay, next up, Skeleton Dome Rampage, defeat 15 enemies.
I mean, seems like we've done everything, but whatever.
Yeah. Now, I am going to have to mute and have something to eat because I'm getting really starving. I was going to try and hold off till the credits, but I need something now.
Okay, go for it, mate. I will stay here and I will rampage for now. I guess the 40 thieves just don't count as real enemies. It's a bit sad, but whatever. Oh, is this just to trigger Night Palace? Okay. Hey Cassidy, you have missed approximately 2/3 of secret rings. No, let me off. I wish to make progress. Oh, this is annoying. Thank you. See, this is the problem. I'm trying to go back, but they specifically put grind rails here to force you forward. Nope. Oh. Well, alright. I guess one of those did count as an enemy.
Just made it.
Night Palace, baby. Remember when Sonic Forces had no CG cutscenes? Tom remembers. He's just chilling. Releasing evil.
Looks like my time limit is about up.
Sure, I'm having a fucking stroke.
Sorry. I don't mean to worry you. I'll be okay.
I'm so sorry. It's my fault that this happened to you.
Really? Don't worry about it. Just remember my promise. The promise between me and you.
I haven't forgotten that promise.
I knew I could count on you, Shara. It's gonna take more than some tiny flame to bring judgment down on me. Come on, let's go!
Okay.
Yeah, they should have just kept this as an instrumental, 7 rings in hand. Yeah, we're taking the most efficient route, which means we're basically doing it out of order. It's weird.
So this is where a razor is.
Don't worry, we'll get him in no time.
Cool vibes only. Big fan of Night Palace.
This is about to come crumbling down.
My god, that's what I get for taking my eyes off the screen.
This is about to come crumbling down.
Hurry!
Someone clip that, please.
Hurry! Before it breaks!
Bye.
This is about to come crumbling down.
Hurry! Hurry! Before it breaks!
Come on, Tom.
This is about to come crumbling down.
Hurry! Hurry! Before it breaks!
I know!
There you go. Sorry, something got in my eyes. Oh, I'm getting annoyed. And now, since I have my way, I am no longer annoyed.
Speed break!
It's a trap! What do we do?
We just have to fake.
We have to what, Sonic?
It's a trap! What do we do?
Just run right into the spike ball because you're going too fast, I guess.
It's a trap! What do we do?
We just have to face it.
2 whole spike balls. Razor Jin's most deadly trap.
Guess it's time to run.
Now, of all times, is when we should stay on guard.
Yeah, this band is pretty goated. Dare I say, with the sauce.
Master throwing her away.
It's either that or penny for the white guy.
Yeah, that was the Skeleton Dome one. I said this earlier, but I think this is one of my favourite songs in the game, Unawakening Flow.
I don't recall having this much trouble the last time I played this.
Yeah, I think I ripped into you a few times while we were playing it, so probably.
I guess next up, we go for a walk on the air.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Control the carpet by tilting the Wii remote.
I can't even recall how many attempts it took me to do a no-hit run at this level.
Yeah, there's so many just little things that are easy to fuck up, especially the spike balls all over the place.
He must be through here.
Indeed.
Whoa! What the?
The room stretched. Something's come out.
Which means maybe we can go in.
Where could this be?
God, this part's pretty.
Really inside the palace?
Especially for like a standard definition Wii game.
Yeah, like the fact that they've got the more advanced transparency effects and everything running on the fucking Wii is pretty fucking incredible, honestly.
Not exactly ray tracing, but still.
I mean, no, but for this era, this was pretty fucking advanced.
There's something about this hourglass.
A switch, maybe? This gas! Watch out!
We're getting weaker.
In case you couldn't tell, that was actually draining my rings, I guess.
Yeah, you can't hang around in that bit there. Although, to be fair, it's not exactly the most taxing room, so you might well not notice as you're playing it.
Now. Thanks.
That makes sense, Luate, because like, although it's standard def, it does have a much more consistent art direction than 06 ever had.
That's cool, I'm fine with that.
In some situations, the smaller resolution can actually make directing how a game looks a little bit easier, particularly when it comes to the aspect ratio. Because this game, we're running it almost 16:9 here, but it's not natively 16:9. This is an anamorphic widescreen. So in terms of how it's using the screen space, it doesn't have to consider the fact that more will be on the screen at once. So you don't have that problem that a lot of earlier HD games have, where the character just sort of looks a bit lost in the world. I'll say earlier games, so stuff like Balan's Wonderworld doesn't have that problem too.
Did you just say Balans?
Balans, I don't know how you fucking pronounce it.
Don't really matter. It's dead.
Yeah, it died like a day after it came out.
So, we're finally here.
Stay confident. Let's go.
Bit of an awkward start to that level, but picked up in the end.
And next up is the fight with Jin.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because it's that, then we have a bit of a World Rings clean-up segment, and then the tree final boss.
Okay. Can I skip the fake out credits?
We shall find out.
Ugh, it's the blue rat again.
Hey, looks like I'm running a bit low here. Think you could top me off?
Have you brought the 7 world rings?
Yeah, about
You
that.
see, you should really just look for them yourself.
Very well. I'll carve you to pieces until I find every last one.
Well, again, I don't have them, so you're not going to find them.
I've been waiting to finish things with you for a long time.
You filthy rat! I'll shut that mouth of yours permanently.
Watch the way that a razor swings his sword.
Take this!
Aha! It's working! Now I just have to keep that up.
Ha! Insolent pest! Your feeble attacks cannot harm me. Come, Sonic, and face me.
There you go.
What's wrong, Eraser?
I think you can get a maximum of 3 hits in on those straight on sections.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure whether they do less damage than the big hit, though. I'm not sure exactly how it's calculated for this fight.
Come, Sonic, and face me.
Just delay it a teensy bit. Have a bit of patience.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the reticle to pop up.
Balls.
Of course, it's the fucking Z again.
Whoa, Nelly.
Come, you filthy rat, and face me.
You want it? You got it!
Oh, Jesus. This is not poggers. Fuck.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
I've seen that boss take people much, much longer than that.
Alrighty, Razor, give up! You've lost!
He's gone. He just vanished.
He'll be back.
Yo.
That was tight!
Nice one.
That was tight. And that'll be the only gold I get in this run, I think.
That was a close shave.
Oh.
Works on multiple levels.
You better donate for that. It's for the kids. It's for the kids.
If you're in a position where you're able to, go.
I'm okay. I'm still...
That door. What is it?
I have an idea. Watch this. Open sesame!
Wah wah.
Oh, it didn't work.
That's...
Hail Giovanni. Oh fuck, wrong game.
Nope.
some sort of offering we need to make. 7... Sonic!
When the 7 rings that control the worlds are gathered, the portal between worlds shall open. We've got the 7 world rings.
Nope.
This must be the door that they open.
Incorrect statement.
Okay, that one, it definitely should have had some kind of check to make sure you have them before playing it.
I've got bad news, Flame.
The music's good at least.
Yeah, you cannot skip though. Oh hey, it's Kishimoto.
Oh, it's our scapegoat for every Sonic game we don't like now, right?
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah, Sonic checks his pockets looking for the rings and he's like, oh shit.
I think I dropped them back in Skeleton Dome.
They're on the kitchen counter and you forgot something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we get the medley here, but the good ending gets the original song.
Mm-hmm. You call it a medley, this just seems like the palace that was found.
It kicks into some other stuff later, I believe.
I don't think music in succession is what counts as a medley.
Or if it fades into the next song rather than, you know, we're splitting hairs here. You think they're still gonna rock the place? Maybe one day. Oh.
Yo!
Yeah, we have a $100 donation. Was that from you, Shadow Reaper? I don't know if you want your real name read out or not, but they say open sesame for the kids. Thank you very much.
Thank you for making it worth it to play Secret Rings. I didn't want it to be $1 to play Secret Rings. I'm sorry if that sounds ungrateful.
Yeah, but thank you very much. We're now at $1,804, so we're getting closer and closer to that $2,000 threshold.
Do you want to be entered into the Origins Steam Code raffle, Shadow?
Yeah, let us know. That will be one entry per $5. Yep, you want to be put in? I can do that.
Okay. Okay, it's sort of a medley.
It faded into it, it counts.
Oh, fuckles. think you might need to check the donations
Yeah,
again.
I just saw. So we have another donation of $196.69 from Damos saying, "Hehe, nice." So yeah, that's something that Shadow Reaper brought up. The fact that we do have bid wars ongoing. Damos just contributed this to the Sonic Heroes team choice for Team Rose, and Shadow contributed his donation to Sonic Colors Ultimate new soundtrack.
Oh.
So let me go check where all of these are up to at this point. So currently the Sonic Mania Plus character choice, Tails, is winning. The Sonic Heroes team choices, that's currently Team Chaotix and Team Sonic in the lead. And for the Sonic Colors Ultimate bid war, that is currently the new soundtrack winning.
Very cool.
So those all run until the start of their respective playthroughs, so if you want to help influence how they're going to play out, you can pick the polls option when you donate, and your money will get counted toward that particular poll.
Damos, do you want to be entered into Origins?
Yep, I'll check that in a sec, but I do want to also mention that that has pushed us over the $2,000 mark.
Woohoo!
So that means, when I get the right document back, on Friday the 8th of July we'll be playing a Sonic Creepypasta block. We'll be playing Sonic before the sequel and after the sequel, and Sonic Mega Mix.
Huzzah! Thank you very much, guys. And you.
We did a lot of work here.
Copyrights to Sega.
They didn't even get the particular copyright icon.
When the 7 rings that control the worlds are gathered, the portal between worlds shall open. Try again.
Okay, you are starting with Sand Oasis Collect Rings, Collect 99 Rings.
You got it, right?
Yeah, Damos, just let me know if you want in the Sonic Origins raffle, mate. Sure, okay, I'll add you on, mate. Thank you very much for the donation.
3, 2,
Don't forget what you said, though. Pace yourself. Let other people handle the donations and whatnot as well. Oh yeah, I forgot Big was in this game.
Yeah, like a lot of the cameos for Big, I think you have to stand still in specific points in the level, and the camera will eventually pan over to him. So you're not going to see him as easily as you do in SA2.
Good.
I think he was being facetious, guys. I don't think he thinks that's actually good.
Shut. Not exactly a gold medal run, but it'll do.
You got 99 gold rings out of it, so it's good enough.
And a bitch ain't one of them.
So next up is Die Hard Challenge Don't Get Defeated for Sand Oasis.
Okay. Oh Jesus, someone just said boo in the chat and I nearly fucking died.
No, we saw King Boom Boo yesterday. And the day before.
Kind of a running theme, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't forget to put out a tweet with pictures of the new games, Flame.
I can do.
After you do all the other billions of things that HellfireComms required to do, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just also about to put a tweet out as you said that to say we're on to the cleanup, but yeah, I think the new games take priority right now.
Good. Instead of doing a proper homing attack, he just zoomed forward.
3, 2, 1, go!
After you're done with that, mate, I think we have a new donation.
Yep. 3 things at a time, hang on.
Good. More facetious goods. Just keep going, Sonic. It don't matter. None of this matters. And I still got silver. Huh. Alright, what's next, Flame?
Next up is Sand Oasis Beat the Clock, finished within 120 seconds.
You got it, mate. Yeah, the Eraser fight is pretty cool. Like, he's not really a super big developed bad guy, but I like him as an antagonist. Probably more than the one in Black Knight, honestly.
Alright, we have a new donation from the Green Viper 8 for $20, who says, "Hail, got some money in, so finally be able to contribute. Have many a fond memory watching the original Sonic-a-thon long into the night over that summer. So happy to watch along and donate once more. Keep up the great work." Thank you very much, mate. And if you'd like to enter the Sonic Origins raffle, if you let us know and I'll be able to add you on, that will be 4 entries if you'd like to be part of that. Yep, sure thing. No worries, mate, I can add you on.
Gotta speed up. Sweet Jesus. Go, Tom, you bastard, go! Fuck apart.
I'm glad that weren't a don't break 'em mission.
You get no medal, Sonic, because you didn't do good enough. I'm running out of steam, as you can probably tell.
That's fine.
Sonic, look!
Whoa! I take it that's not something you see every day, huh?
That must be a monster summoned forth by the Eraser Djinn.
Shara, can't you do something about it with your magic?
I'm sorry, Sonic. My magic is no match for that of the Eraser Djinn.
Okay then. Guess I'll just have to deal with him the old-fashioned way.
With a gun?
Don't look so grim, Shara. I'll have you smiling by the end of this. And that's not me ordering you as your master. That's a promise from me to you.
Yes, all right.
All right, let's do it.
A promise.
Alright, so up next is beat the clock, finish you within 120 seconds.
Are you sure? I could just defeat the Sand Scorpion.
Let's do it in this order in case we forget which one it is.
Where though?
Unless you've already done it. It's meant to be Sand Oasis.
Yeah, I just did beat the clock, mate. That was the one you told me to do.
Oh, I was getting that confused with Die Hard. Okay, defeat the boss then.
There you go. You silly goose, look at you.
Look, I've got like 8 tabs open right now, sorting out the other stuff.
That's fair, mate, that's fair.
Seems pretty tough. All right, let's do this.
The big eyeball on its back seems to be its weak point. Watch out for its tail attack! Try using the scorpion's tail to reach the eye on its back.
Trying to, Shara.
Yeah, Xehanort, we're on the tail end now. What we're doing is we beat the like standard ending of the game, and now we're just doing a bit of cleanup to get the world rings so we can do the true ending.
This guy just doesn't give up.
Oh, I'm gonna get you. Oh, I'm gonna get you.
Maybe not.
Speed ring.
I don't remember the Scorpion boss in Spinball. That's one of the games that I've never got around to beating for myself, personally.
That's it. The eye is its weak point.
Gotcha, bitch. I believe we have another donation, mate.
Okey-doke. Yes, we do. We have a $20 donation from Matt Mass Attack, who says, after a close shave with Eraser, Sonic and Shara attempt to cross the border into the endgame. However, Sonic doesn't have the border fee, so now a new venture. La la. Thank you very much, mate. And also, if you'd like to be entered into the Sonic Origins raffle, let me know in chat and I can add you in.
There it is, Sonic!
So that's...
This must be one of the 7 world rings the Eraser Djinn spoke of. Huh? I can't pick it up.
Yes, please. No worries, mate. I can add you in.
Ow!
When darkness descends upon the Arabian Nights, the legendary blue hedgehog from another world shall come.
Me? Legendary? You've got to be kidding. You're gonna make me blush.
When the 7 rings that control the worlds are gathered, the portal between the worlds shall open. But the life of the collector of the rings shall be offered up in sacrifice as the key for that control.
Can you tell me that now?
That is what is written in the newest
Well, I mean, there's a good chance you could have played this first.
Say what? I'm supposed to be a sacrifice?
That I cannot say for sure, but I do believe that these world rings hold the key to some kind of mystery. And I think that we need to collect them to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Well, considering
Yeah, it definitely intended you to do this first, but I think you have to do a bit of back and forth with the missions before this will open.
All this is happening to...
Hey, don't worry about it. Besides, don't you know
Yep,
how
Sonic
fast
06
I
is
am?
the big
I'm
incentive if we
walking
manage to
without
get to $5,000.
So spread the word and spread the stream link. The lemon world ring. It's very better, Shara, my dear.
Okay, you want to go to Dino Jungle for Special Challenge Smash 5 Genie Eggs.
Okay, okay.
It's the one where you smash them, not the other one, don't worry.
Jesus.
Three, two, one.
It's a spirit egg! Sonic, destroy it!
Sonic, why?
Okay, Protector Meme says that the route we're taking is the most efficient route for reaching the Eraser. But in reality, we could have gone to the Sand Scorpion before heading to Dino Jungle.
Whatever works.
I think it's more amusing this way, doing everything out of story order.
Okay. Sonic, please.
I'm not sure if there's specifically an upgrade to improve the homing attack strength. There's so many of the fucking upgrades I can't remember which ones do what.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tilt the Wii remote left or right to change direction. Move the Wii remote up and down to fly upwards. Press the 2 button to get off of the flying pod.
Gotta make sure I dodge those iron balls.
I was so tempted to just fly into one.
Hey, look, we have company.
Eraser's henchmen!
Ha! That was a piece of cake.
Great job, Sonic!
You certainly are adept at smashing eggs, Sonic. Anything you want to tell us? I just fucking hate chickens.
Looks like we've got our hands full.
Sonic, are we going to be okay?
I love the homing attack so much.
Mission complete!
No problem. No.
Darn, I got no medal for smashing genie eggs.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
It's another one of the 7 world rings.
Why is that particular mission linked to a world ring? The other one seemed thematically appropriate, but that one, it just seems like a side mission you would have that somehow is majorly plot important.
Yeah. Isn't there a mission where you have to put eggs in the correct nests and we find it in a nest?
Speaking as Genie of the Ring, can I
Maybe? Like, I don't think we have to do that one.
That's what I'm saying though, like it should be in that one.
Command.
Yeah.
Do you think you could take this judgment thing out of my chest for me? Oh,
I am sorry.
hey, no worries. Cheer up. Don't sweat it. Anyways, no adventure is fun if it's too easy, right? Although, It would have been nice if your magic did work. In any case, okay.
Just saying.
Let's keep going.
Yes.
It's the lime ring, Shara. Lime. We'll be mint, I guess. Alright, next one, though.
Levitated Ruin Die Hard Challenge.
Three, two, one.
You can beat all of these different green things, guys. It's fine.
It's a magical ring. It can be literally all flavors at once. And depending on what flavor you want at the time, it can just turn into that.
Also, it's like mythical and shit, so you probably shouldn't eat it.
Mythical and shit.
Yeah, I have no better way to describe it. You got anything?
Not really, no. It's all good, Sonic. Just keep it going.
This just isn't my day.
Tom.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Jesus Christ.
Keep that in.
I am.
Fucking asshole. Swear to God. It's not my best run of secret rings, but it is a run of secret rings.
It sure does tick that box.
It sure does. Critics have voted it most likely to be a run of secret rings. Sonic, why?
Now remember what happens here. I love that third fucker shows up a little bit late just to catch you off a second time.
Really? This is the run of all time.
Oh, we've got an especially stupid mission coming up next.
Good. Alright. What's up?
Levitated Ruin, Rampage, defeat one enemy. I remember this one specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Three, two, one.
Nailed it.
And then Sonic just falls.
Did you see how cool I was, Shara? Yes, Sonic, very cool.
Wasn't looking to it again.
No.
Alright, so Levitated Ruin, Rampage, defeat 20 enemies.
Three, two, one.
Well, look who's here.
I just ran past a bunch of enemies, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
Look out! The light from his eyes will turn you to stone!
Huh? Oh.
Oh, that's right. I think I remember reading about that.
going up there.
Sonic, why?
You wanted to do that bit again?
It's not slowing down.
Watch out for the balls with spikes on them, Sonic.
Or just balls in general, whatever works. Why, Sonic? What's the point of a boost you have to stop to use?
Speed ring.
Just a little guy.
Just doing my thing.
Mama, these nuts.
How many of these guys are there?
There's no end to them.
You don't need it!
I want it though. There.
Just made it. Man, there's just no end to these evil spirits, is there?
That's...
It must
Oh, the
be
big
another one of
cameos
the
have
7
their own
world
page in the
wonders.
special book detailing his own adventures. I didn't realise that they were actually documented. I thought it was just cameos like in SA2.
Yeah, I'm fine.
It's Big's diary. And apparently that's coming back in Frontiers.
Just touching
Oh,
it
okay.
makes me feel like I've got a whirlpool of emotion spiraling around inside me. I can't even begin to imagine what having all 7 rings would do to someone. It might even open the gates of hell.
He said it. He said the thing.
Yeah,
Sonic,
he sure did.
Huh?
I want you to hold on to this.
Okay. What is it?
If nothing else we do is able to stop him, this will be our final resort.
Shara?
I cannot use it by myself.
Did you just give me a bomb or something?
Yeah, last time I saw one of these things, it didn't end up too well.
No?
Alright, so you want to go to Night Palace for head-to-head beat Uhu to the goal.
This is the last one, isn't it?
It's the last world, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think so, yeah. I don't know, you're the one reading the things, mate.
Yeah. I know you were asking and then answering your own questions, so I got confused. But yeah, there's 3 more missions, and then the last chapter.
Cool.
3, 2, 1, go!
Damn you, boxers.
I don't mind this one too much. It's mostly a game of just using the speed break thingy at the right time.
Speed break!
Good. I think I beat him.
Yeah. He was way behind you as soon as you used that thingy.
I assume Uhu is meant to be like a speed spirit, like the Arabian Nights equivalent of Sonic.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, he's fast and he's blue, so
He has Sonic's skill set mostly.
yes.
So, die hard challenge, don't get defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Three, two, one.
Where are we?
I'm feeling something strange.
Well, Razor's not an alien, so I don't think Jet and the others are descendants of him.
Plus, you know, it's in a different world here, so... Like, this is a fictional genie, whereas in Sonic's world... Actually, I'm going to confuse myself if I think about this. Yeah, don't worry, I confused myself.
Is it aiming for us?
Cinematic camera angle.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is the room spinning?
Looks like it.
Oh, I see.
Yahoo!
Sonic Plus. It's centered on that thing. That's why I couldn't move left or right.
You're alright.
Okay, now we go back.
Yeah.
I swear if they were going to spawn a bottomless pit there.
I wouldn't be past them.
Alright, next one.
Next one is Hands Off, finish with 0 rings. So this one, you can pick up rings along the way, you just have to take a hit and lose them before crossing into the goal.
Oh yeah. Easy enough.
Like, it's not as hard as the description makes it sound. Oh, thank you for sharing the stream around, Cassidy. It really does help out a lot.
2, 1, go!
Just a single ring. Just a crumb of ring. No rings for me, thank you.
Alright, here you go. Just gotta take a hit.
There you go.
Nice.
Bam, bam.
Just made it.
Okay, so the last one before the final chapter is Rampage, defeat 20 enemies.
You got it, mate. This is it, Luigi.
3, 2, 1, go!
I'll say this for Black Knight. You don't need to do nearly as much, busy work.
Yeah, like, Black Knight leads you in the right direction. There's optional missions if you want to do them, but you're not going to confuse an optional one for a mandatory one.
Watch out!
Is it aiming for us?
That was close.
No
Good.
You don't need it, keep going. Did he try to stand on a surface that wasn't there?
Yes, he did, Flame. It's alright. So everything's okay.
Okay.
Nice save.
Don't ask, just don't.
Yeah.
Talk about a close call. Had me worried there for a second. Hey, what's going on?
I think there's something we can do here.
That was fair.
A certified Wii moment.
Here we go, Shara.
Sonic, slow down!
Like, you can hit something 5 miles away, but right next to you, forget about it.
Basically.
One down, more to go.
There we go.
Whew!
Just made it.
Made it. Just.
That's it.
One of the 7 world rings. This one is purple.
Okay, we have $7 from Protector and Memes, who says $7 for the 7 world rings. Secret Rings, despite its faults, has always been one of my favourites for several reasons, namely the aesthetics, the god tier soundtrack, and especially the story and the writing. For the first 3D Sonic, I sunk a lot of time into. I have no regrets. Thanks for the run-in, Tom.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for the donation, mate. Would you like to be entered into the Sonic Origins raffle?
Talk about it. That's okay.
Sonic,
Is he really a genie of the lamp like that King of Bones said?
yes. Well,
Yep, sure, I will add you in.
he's the genie of the magic lamp from the story of Aladdin.
Huh?
Long ago, he was punished for his misdeeds and sealed away in the lamp. He would not be forgiven until he had granted the wishes of 1,000 people. But when his sentence had been served, he had a renewed hatred of people. That was his fate, sad as it was. His cursed destiny came from the story he had been written into.
Shara?
To the Eraser Jinn, I am just a mere genie of the ring. I want to stop him, though. I want to turn the stories of the Arabian Nights back to what they were.
With Scooby and Shaggy and other assorted Hanna-Barbera characters, just as it should be. There we go.
Let's do it. I'm not sure what Elf Layla or Layla's names means.
I think it means 1001 Nights.
That would make sense, yeah.
Feel free to correct me though.
You just don't give up, do you?
You've brought me all 7 world rings? Well done.
Hey, of course. We're such good buddies after all.
Shara. You have done well in using him to gather the rings. Now, give them to me.
Hey, hold on. Aren't you gonna do something about this?
Shara, please, quickly. Let us rule the world together.
Shara? What?
I must.
Shara, stop! You can't do this! Think about what will happen!
I'm sorry. I have no choice. I just want to be back with him.
No! As Genie of the Ring, I command you! Do what you truly think is right!
He didn't say I wish, so she had a terrible brain hemorrhage instead.
Prayers, sadness, rage, hatred, joy, pleasure, wishes. The 7 hearts that make up the stories. These are the 7 world rings that bind these pages together.
What?
But the life of the collector of the rings shall be offered up in sacrifice as the key for that control. I offer up your life, Blue Hedgehog.
Shara!
Sonic, I'm sorry. I knew. All along, I knew what would happen. And I still got you involved.
It's okay. It's not your fault.
Yeah, it's the only time he calls him a hedgehog in the whole game, I think.
Destiny? Did I keep our promise?
Shara, grant me a wish. I wish for you to not die and to go back to the way you were.
I'm so sorry, Master. I cannot grant.
In the end, such is the weak power of a genie of the ring.
Luigi, this isn't weed!
What the fuck?
This is awful. You're just some incomplete monster. We've got to stop him! Shara! Please! Let me your power!
Thank you, game. Very cool.
Dark Sonic is cool, but it's beaten out by what we'll see in the next game.
I disagree, honestly.
No, I definitely have a favourite there. And the thing with Dark Sonic is that I feel it's the sort of design that I'd seen a lot in fan works before it became official. And so it didn't have the same sort of impact to me, which admittedly isn't the game's fault at all. But you know, like, I think Sonic has cooler super forms.
If I watch a beam of light when he's attacking, I can probably dodge it.
Oops.
It would take a miracle for you to avoid my attacks.
How's this for an introduction then?
Time to make your arms hurt.
Yep. You ain't kidding. Buenos dias, Eraser Jin.
You can jump and air dash, so I'm not sure how useful that is in this fight.
Good.
Maybe time break and speed break might work.
I really wish I picked up one of those. Oh well.
Whee! Down he goes.
Always fill the soul gauge by moving the wing remote.
Shara!
You think you're an match for me?
Yeah, Objective Binary. Brit was here for a long time when he was playing this on his stream and it completely exhausted him. That was a fun stream.
Oh, I wanted that.
It would take a miracle for you to avoid my attacks.
How's this for an introduction then?
I don't know if he was planning to make videos on it. I think he was just wanting to experience the Sonic series for the first time.
We could get some Sonic Kino from Gaming Brit though, you never know.
That would be cool.
How can you have this power?
I have to stay clear of that whirlpool.
I'm pretty sure I hit time break there, but whatever.
The game didn't agree with you.
Break and speed break might work. Speed break!
You're really using up the soul gauge.
I like that the cap for the rings on this particular boss is 999, as though you have any chance of getting that many.
Really?
Yeah, Thunderous Blitz, the sound effects are a little bit limp.
Let's make them a little bit crunchier.
I remember making a Sonic music video with the Dark Spine Sonic stuff, but forgot to put my headphones in, so my family just heard Jason Griffith yelling over and over. Beautiful. Oh, I thought you died for a second there, Christ.
Yeah.
Speed break! Speed break!
You're gonna lose.
Have some faith, Shara. All done.
One last little tap was what it took.
Oh, I can't believe this shit. No.
Razor. Next time, try writing a better story.
Can't even finish the line.
The hero's line was better anyway. Yep, one book down, one more to go.
Ooh, lordy. I can undo this strap now.
I shall not be defeated. If you defeat me, I will simply return again and again. I am immortal. I cannot be vanquished.
Propenseve.
That can't be. That's the...
I want you to hold on to this.
To go back to the way you were. The genie of the lamp is supposed to grant 3 wishes. Am I right?
I will never grant any wish from the likes of you.
Yeah, if they played Eraser stoically, it would have been a much less entertaining game, I think.
Yeah, I'm glad that they really hammed him up the way they did.
Oh, my body! My body is...
My second wish. Return the Arabian Nights to the way they were, so that the world can have its stories again.
Whoa.
My third wish. Eraser Jin, you shall live out the rest of time trapped inside your lamp as you were in days of old.
Chara, I know you're there. Please stop him. We can start over. The 2 of us. I swear it. The world is mine. I cannot be denied by that filthy rat. Why?
I told you, I'm not a rat. I'm a hedgehog.
Based.
Alright, we have $50 from Xehanauto, who says, here's $50 for Make Believe's Reborn. Thank you very much, mate. Would you like those to be added to the Origins raffle?
Now, just let yourself cry. As much as you need to. You'll have plenty of handkerchiefs to help you through it.
Yes, please, sure thing, mate.
Well, I mean, Sonic punishes a lot of villains. I can't think of a single one he didn't actually fight. But I get what you mean.
He was a lot more brutal in his delivery with Eraser Jin, I feel.
Yeah.
So I guess, Tom, after replaying Secret Rings, do you still consider it underrated?
I'm tired.
Okay. I'll say I enjoy it a lot more when I'm not the one playing.
Understandable. It is a game with a lot of problems, but I still really like the story, the tone, the OST, the general lore and mythology. It's just the gameplay, man, and just the mission structure that lets it down.
Yeah, I basically echo that. And Worth a Chance by Steve Conte is great as well.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
Yeah, that's a good point, Protector of Memes. Eraser proving himself to be irredeemable in the fact that that was about as like child-friendly coverage of an abusive relationship as you could show, and Sonic saw through that. So it made sense in context for Sonic being unusually savage.
My hand is pretty steady. That doesn't change the fact that, you know, you're slipping and sliding all over the place.
But on the plus side, that Wiimote feels great.
I guess. This is still the Wiimote I got with Skyward Sword back in the day.
Alright. I've had to replace mine. The one I've got set up for Black Knight in a few minutes is one of the novelty Bowser ones they did at one point.
Right. Oh, of course.
Yeah, and the Nunchuck is a third-party replacement one, so I hope that holds up.
Yeah.
It's got two choices, I guess.
No worries, Protector. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who stuck around through the whole run today. And remember, we do have Sonic and the Black Knight coming up in a few. What I'll probably do is I'll probably set up the stream and put it on break screen for a little while, because I need to stretch my legs a bit, feed me dog, and just generally get set up.
Yeah, sure, but.
That's fair, mate. It was handy having a backup anyway, so we appreciate your contribution with that.
And so, the legendary blue hedgehog, having saved the world of the Arabian Nights, ran endlessly until he found his way back into his own world. Along the way, he had many adventures. But those are stories for another time.
Haha, just kidding.
Thank you, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, there was one sequel, but it took place in a different book.
Yeah. More credits. More!
Of course.
If you want to go take your break now, mate, I can sort this stuff out.
Okay, you just put it on break screen when you're done, and then we can change over when I'm back, alright?
Yep, Black Knight coming up pretty soon. It probably would have been Greek myths or Journey to the West, if there was ever a third one, I think. And you. This is my mythology now. There we go, folks. That was Sonic and the Secret Rings. Coming up next, after a short break, will be the second and final storybook game. Pretty short side series. It's going to be Sonic and the Black Knight, with Flame on controls and me on CoCom. So I'll see you very shortly. Don't go anywhere.